history of Harvard football is rich with tradition. The Crimson has a proud and storied past. It is a tradition of winning and has continued under current head coach Tim Murphy. During his 14-year tenure, every four-year player recruited has both graduated and been a part of at least one undefeated Ivy League championship team. The only Division I team to accomplish that feat. In 2007, the offense featured yet another high-octane attack.
Go D!
A devastating defense was tops in the Ancient Eight against the run and led the league in sacks.
So proud of the effort. Your effort is so great, you just wore them down.
Crimson exceeded all expectations, and in doing so, earned the title of Ivy League champions. Harvard had garnered its fourth undefeated season in the Ivy League since 1997 under head coach Tim Murphy, and its 12th Ivy League title overall. The Crimson began 2007 against the Crusaders of Holy Cross. After a scoreless first quarter, head coach Tim Murphy had quarterback Liam O'Hagan take to the air. The senior from Minnetonka, Minnesota, responded with a 35-yard scoring pass to Matt Legase.
Touchdown, Harvard!
The next Crimson drive culminated when O'Hagan called his own number with 4th and goal from the 2.
O'Hagan on the keeper. It's a touchdown for Harvard.
Linebacker Glenn Doris led the defensive charge. The junior from Marietta, Georgia, collected both a sack and an interception. Coach Murphy's mandate to pass continued into the second half, and O'Hagan looked to receiver Corey Mazza.
Dumps it over the middle. Corey Mazza's there inside the 15. O'Hagan to throw. 3-step drop. Fires. It is caught. Touchdown.
Against the Crusaders, the senior from Thousand Oaks, California, caught 7 passes for 105 yards. In his first ever start, running back Chang Ho made the most of the opportunity. The sophomore from Martinez, Georgia, ran for 116 yards and a touchdown. However, the effort wasn't enough as Harvard fell to Holy Cross 31-28. This season, historic Harvard Stadium was fitted with a high-powered illumination system, and over 20,000 fans came out in force for the first ever night game against Brown.
Let's go, Crimson! TD!
Quarterback Liam O'Hagan quickly lit up the Bears' defense, connecting with wideout Corey Mazza for a 21-yard scoring strike. Number 83 went on to catch 9 passes for 130 yards. Junior Andrew Berry put the team in position to score again with a 40-yard punt return. O'Hagan capped the drive with a 1-yard sneak that put Harvard up 21-17. The defense, led by senior Brad Magnus, set the tone in the second half. The Paxton, Massachusetts native led a pass rush that produced 3 sacks. Cornerback Stephen Williams made passing against the Crimson a daunting task. The senior from San Antonio, Texas, intercepted 2 passes and earned Ivy League Defensive Player of the Week honors.
The pass intercepted by number 2, Stephen Williams. Finish it, buddy. There you go.
Sophomore Patrick Long's 23-yard field goal put the finishing touches on the 24-17 victory, Harvard's first of the year. At Lehigh in Week 3, the defense looked to land a haymaker early on. The unit gave ground grudgingly and limited Lehigh to just 232 total yards. Quarterback Chris Pizzotti filled in for an injured Liam O'Hagan and got great effort from players like fullback Noah Van Neal and wideout Matt Luft. However, on this day, victory was not in the cards for the Crimson, as they succumbed to Lehigh 20-13. Week 4 saw the Crimson take on the Big Red of Cornell. In his first start of the season, quarterback Chris Pizzotti wasted little time going vertical. Number 19 twice connected with wideout Corey Mazza for scores. Pizzotti then teamed up with receiver Matt Luft for a 51-yard catch and carry. Defensive coordinator Kevin Doherty's unit took over the contest. Senior Doug Hewlett had 2 of the team's 5 sacks, and the relentless pressure resulted in 3 interceptions. Running back Chang Ho wore down Cornell's defense. Number 39's 4-yard touchdown topped off the 32-15 victory. In Week 5 against Lafayette, the aspiring opera star gave the Leopards the blues. Down 7-0, a bootlegging Chris Pizzotti alertly found Van Neal, whose spectacular catch tied the score. Fueled by determination, the Crimson then embarked on a 96-yard drive. On the ground and through the air, Pizzotti led Harvard through a hostile Lafayette defense. The drive ended with Van Neal's second score of the day. The Crimson defense clamped down. Rush lanes were clogged, and pass pockets collapsed. A suffocating secondary sucked the life out of Lafayette with 4 fourth-quarter interceptions. 2 of the picks came courtesy of safety John Hopkins. The performance earned him Ivy League Defensive Player of the Week honors. Cornerback Stephen Williams laid the Leopards to rest when he returned an interception 91 yards for a score. The play secured Harvard's 27-17 victory. Harvard played host to Princeton in Week 6. And Coach Tim Murphy's squad immediately took the fight to the Tigers. 5 plays into the contest, Chris Pizzotti hit Corey Mazza with a 41-yard touchdown pass to give Harvard an early 7-0 advantage. Running back Chang Ho repeatedly wove his way through the defending champs. Number 39 racked up 174 yards of total offense, and his touchdown at the start of the third quarter put Harvard ahead 20-10. With the lead in hand, Coach Murphy called on Coach Doherty's defense to preserve it. Linebacker Peter Ajay from Brooklyn, New York, provided the pressure with 2 sacks. And cornerback Stephen Williams, the Ivy League Defensive Player of the Week, stole 2 passes as Harvard held Princeton to a paltry 84 yards passing. Special teams did its share as well. The unit excelled in coverage and provided excellent field position. However, this day belonged to Chris Pizzotti. The senior from Reading, Massachusetts, completed 23 of 35 passes for a career-high 365 yards, the 4th most in Harvard history. His second touchdown pass of the day went to Mike Cook and capped a 27-10 Crimson victory.
Your effort is so great, you just wore him down. You wore him down, you ground him into the dirt. So proud of the effort, so proud of the clutch performances. We said we needed a balanced effort. How about our special teams today? How about a defense that gives up 1 touchdown? How about an offense that has 0 turnovers? Where's Pavarotti? Where is he? Now listen up. The world's about to hear him sing. We got to hear him sing first. What do you say? What do you say? God bless America, and we pick up on the second verse. You ready? I want to hear it.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. God bless America, my home sweet home.
Against Dartmouth in Week 7, Harvard relied on its ground game. Chang Ho topped the century mark for the 3rd time this season with 114 yards. Big gains by both Ho and Mike Cook were followed by Chris Pizzotti's scores, as Harvard went ahead 14-7. The Crimson pass rush produced constant pressure, and the result was 4 interceptions, 3 of which were by Doug Hewlett. The senior from Wellington, Florida, earned Ivy League Defensive Player of the Week honor. 2 touchdown runs by freshman Collier Winters finished off the 28-21 victory. At Columbia, the defense dominated. Carl Ehrlich and Brad Bagdis led a ferocious pass rush. The duo accounted for 4 of the Crimson's 6 sacks. Columbia found nothing but futility on the ground as Harvard held the Lions to -5 yards rushing. In contrast, the Crimson ran for almost 200 yards, 119 of which came from Chang Ho. The sensational sophomore added 2 touchdowns as well. The precision passing of Chris Pizzotti did the rest as Harvard downed Columbia 27-12. Against Penn in Week 9, the Crimson waged a war of attrition. With just under a minute to play in the second quarter, Chris Pizzotti broke the 0-0 stalemate with a 20-yard scoring strike to Corey Mazza. The score was the 28th of Mazza's career and tied the Harvard record for touchdown receptions. Chris Pizzotti began the second half as he had ended the first with a touchdown pass. This time it went to Matt Luft, a former high school teammate of Maz's from Tall Oaks, California. Harvard's defense then began to exert its will. The unit held Penn to a mere 71 yards in the second half. Late in the fourth quarter, Chang Ho broke free and scampered 20 yards to pay dirt, as Harvard sent Penn home with a 23-7 loss. The victory was the Crimson's sixth straight and set the stage for a showdown with Yale for the Ivy League title.
We said we had to have patience. We did. It didn't happen. It didn't happen right away. Everybody did their job. We're 6-0. We're in first place. And we're playing for the Ivy League championship.
Few sporting events can compare to the spectacle that is the game. The 124th meeting between Harvard and Yale was for more than just bragging rights. At stake was the Ivy League championship. For the first time since 1968, both Harvard and Yale entered the contest undefeated in league play, and the Crimson was determined to remain unbeaten.
Hey, seniors, how do you want to go out, baby? What do you want to make it top? Let's go! Hey, we're on three. 1, 2, 3.
The pride and poise of Harvard Crimson was proudly on display. Quarterback Chris Pizzotti took to the air early and often. Twice in the first quarter, he connected with wideout Matt Luft for touchdowns, as Harvard took a shocking 14-0 lead over the favored Bulldogs. A fourth down stop by the defense gave Harvard excellent field position, and the Crimson capitalized. Chang Ho's 1-yard touchdown run increased Harvard's lead to 20-0. Chris Pizzotti's third touchdown pass of the day, a 15-yard strike to Mike Cook, put Harvard ahead 27-0 at the half. Pizzotti was 17 of 27 for 244 yards and 3 scores.
You're not the bootleg guy, all right? You're bending right there, all right? Tackle the tailback.
The Crimson's stifling defense battered the Bulldogs. The unit posted 2 sacks, and both linebacker Glenn Doris and cornerback Stephen Williams produced interceptions as Yale was held without an offensive touchdown.
He's finally up. I'm going to go inside.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Chris Pizzotti finished his collegiate career in fine fashion. Number 19 set a career high with 27 completions, and his personal best 4th touchdown of the game went to junior Jason Miller. The play iced the 37-6 rout, and a dream was now reality. Harvard had upset an undefeated Yale team, and the Crimson could once again call themselves Ivy League champions.
Great job of preparation by the coaches. Beautiful. Great job of execution. Great senior leadership. Congratulations, Ivy League champs.
This is unbelievable. I'm so proud of everybody in here, man. This is the only way to end it, man. Hey, seniors, we did it, baby.
Yes, it. Yes, it.
Salva, fuck! It'll give them, not gonna run them. Nobody salva, fuck! 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
2007 marked another highly successful season of Harvard football. Under the direction of head coach Tim Murphy, the Crimson won its 4th undefeated Ivy League title since 1997. 20 players would be chosen to the 2007 All-Ivy League teams, including 11 first-team selections. This was the most of any of the Ivy League schools and the second most in the history of the league. Pizzotti, who entered the season in a backup role, finished the year with the second-best passing numbers in school history, with 2,134 yards. Joining him on the first offensive team was Corey Mazza, who finished his career as a 3-time All-League selection. He caught 56 passes for 785 yards. Additionally, 3 of the 5 first-team offensive linemen hailed from Harvard, as Andrew Brecker, James Williams, and David Payne all made the team. Harvard had 6 defensive team selections, including Steve Williams, Doug Hewlick, and Andrew Berry. Joining Captain Brad Bagdus, fellow defensive lineman Matt Curtis, and linebacker Glenn Doris. In 2007, the Crimson embodied the word team, and in the end, became champions.